Hey, it's Vas here from Metro Hobbies, and today I'm going to be showing you some great Christmas gift ideas. Now, we get asked quite often, what is a great RC for beginners? Well, today I'm going to be showing you some great examples that we would recommend. Now, one of our most popular brands throughout the year is the ECX range, and these come in three different forms. So we have the 1/10 scale versions. Now, these are ready to run, and you have the Buggy and the monster truck. You have the 1/18 scale versions, and these again come in ready to run form. So you have a short cross truck and a monster truck. And then there's also a 1/10 scale monster truck kit. So if you're the type of person that would like to build your own and perhaps even select your own color for the body, this could potentially be an option that you could look into. Okay, now some of the key features with these particular amp vehicles, obviously they are a 1/10 scale, so they're quite a large size. They have good ground clearance, so they can go over a lot of rough terrain. They are only two-wheel drive, and they are running a brushed motor. They also have a great big bumper on the front here, so if you do happen to steer it into a tree or your curb, your leg, whatever it is that you're running this into, at least you'll have a little bit of protection on the car. They have oiled filled chocks as well, and all parts of course are available here in the store should you be unlucky and break something. Now, a really cool thing about this particular amp, especially for beginners, is that they come with a fairly small remote, which is really ideal for small hands. So if you're planning on buying this for a child, this remote will fit in their hand quite comfortably. You can see that looks quite small in my hand, and to give you a comparison of what it would look like next to a standard size remote, there is your comparison there. So this is a fairly standard size type of RC remote, and you can see there just how small the amp remotes actually are. Okay, so now we're going to move on to this little 1/18 scale Ruckus. Now, this is four-wheel drive, unlike its big brother, which is only two-wheel drive. But being four-wheel drive, it does make it a little bit easier to drive. And of course, due to its size, you do need to keep in mind that these won't go over as rougher terrain as the big 1/10 scale cars. One of the really cool features about this particular truck is that the battery loads in from underneath via this little battery door here, saving you from having to remove the body every time you want to swap out batteries, which is a really cool feature. They also have some pretty sturdy bumpers front and rear, so they can take a little bit of an impact, and they also have oil filled chocks front and rear. So a very cool little truck, and yeah, definitely worth looking into. Now, by this time you might be a little bit confused, but let me just help you perhaps clarify some of your decision making. So your biggest differences here between the 1/18 scale and the 1/10 scale, as you'll be able to see when I put the little guy on top of the big one, that kind of puts it into perspective, the difference between the two. The little car, ideal for more flat terrain, perhaps even an open area inside if you've got a big garage or you've got a nice big paved driveway. That's where this one will excel quite well. The big amp, that will obviously go over, a lot of rough terrain, so taller grass, go down to BMX tracks, front yard, backyard, might even be able to drive it down the stairs if you want to. These will actually handle quite a fair bit of abuse due to their large parts and obviously, the big bumpers and everything else. Now, if you're not sure between the Buggy and the monster truck, these two are exactly the same car, with the exception of the body being different on the Buggy and of course having a little rear mounted wing. But essentially they're the same car underneath, and that goes for the monster truck kit here as well. It's essentially the same car. There's no difference, except this one you have to build from scratch, whilst the other ones are ready to run. Alright, so that's a bit of a quick overview on the features of the ECX range as well as how they come equipped. Now, average runtime for these cars is somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes, and charge time can take up to about 4 hours. However, if you want to reduce your charge times and increase runtime, we do have an option for you. As far as the charger goes, you can do this particular charger here, which retails for about $35, and this is compatible with both cars that we've shown here today. For the amp, the 1/10 scale amps, we have a 3300 milliamp hour battery. Now, these will get you run times to around about 30 minutes, so anywhere between 25 to 30 minute runtime. For the 1/18 scale little Ruckus and Torment, we have these little guys here, and they can probably push run times to about 20 to 25 minutes roughly. So there are some of the options that you can add on to these particular cars to kind of extend your run times and fun that you'll have with them. So that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, and I'll speak to you next time.